Hey everyone, and welcome to Contentstack Pulse, your source for the latest updates and innovations at Contentstack. I'm Nicole Quick, Director of Product and Technical Marketing.
Hi everyone, John Kelly, Director of Product Management here at Contentstack, and we're really excited to walk you through updates that we have from the fall.
Let's jump into our agenda for today. We'll cover updates across the Contentstack platform, including some deep dives into our latest innovations and live demos to see those features in action. Are you ready to get started, John?
Let's do it.
First up, we made some key updates about our CMS. We made several enhancements to streamline content operations and give users more control and flexibility. John, can you share how these updates benefit our customers?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing we'll talk about today is releases. Releases for the CMS is a pretty core module for us. It's basically the ability to bundle up entries and assets and set them for either publishing or unpublishing. Customers make use of this for all sorts of content operations. A really exciting update here is actually the ability to add entries and assets in bulk to a release, and a massive scale enhancement. We're talking tens of thousands, up to 50, 60,000 entries to be set at one time for publishing or unpublishing, along with a host of other UX enhancements.
That's awesome. So we also made some updates to our platform side. In October, we announced our Analytics API. How does this benefit our customers?
Yeah, Analytics API is going to be a really exciting update where basically it exposes through an API all of the insights and data and metrics available in our mission control dashboard, as well as in our product analytics dashboard. So through that, customers actually can now integrate all that data with their BI tool of choice, not only for consumption, but also to ensure that they're able to do things like integrate it with automations, for example. A really cool use case we have right now, and it's available in our blog actually, is taking the differences weekly or monthly from the data generated, putting that into automation, working with our large language models to do a monthly comparison of all the data, and then sending that as a digest to all the managers and users within an organization.
When you say automation, so that's using our Contentstack Automate product?
Exactly.
Awesome. Speaking of efficiency, let's talk about Brand Kit, which helps ensure our brand consistency across all of your content. I heard we introduced a new playground environment to test out your new ideas and affecting your live content. Tell us more about it, John.
Yeah, so within Brand Kit, basically the ability to upload your corporation's background identity, persona, and underlying knowledge, as well as the ability to create voice profiles to act as if you're a member of a certain team. The playground is actually a way to test those voice profiles in a live environment with the knowledge vault either turned off or turned on to be able to see how changes in those voices are going to affect the actual output from our large language model.
Can we see it in action?
Let's do it. Okay. Let's have a look at the updates we've made to our releases feature. Releases has been a feature in Contentstack for some time, but we made some scalability improvements, as well as the ability to add in bulk from the entry list page. So from here, we can go ahead and, looks like we have about 76 records in this stack. We can go ahead and grab all of these, we'll say with our new option to add to release. We can also go ahead and, from this new modal, select a release, or in fact, even create a new release. And so we'll go ahead and just call this new release, create that. It is selected. We'll go ahead and utilize our new scalability improvements to select all languages here. We have roughly, 16 or so. And I'll go ahead and add with those references as well. One other thing that we actually added to the stack-based modules is a new bulk task queue specifically for, among other things, to be able to add to the releases module itself. But one thing it does do is create jobs for example, add to release. In this case, if I go to our new release item, we can see now, and it looks like it has finished adding these items to the release itself. We see we have a total of 1,838 records. So a huge amount of content and data here. And of course, I have the option to either preview this using our new timeline feature, or of course, I can set this to be deployed. And of course, also we'll see that is going to give you a manifest of items that will actually not be published and the reasons for them. And you can see the reasons for those here as well, along with our kind of tooltip to give you a sense for what's failed. Common reasons being entry validation rules, some sort of required fields, etc. So we'll actually give you the ability to see everything in that release that actually won't successfully be published, and the reasons for that as well. One other useful update here for the new releases capability is the ability to, without having to schedule, actually lock a release. And so it basically prevents changes from being made to that at the administrative level, that I can also go through and unlock that release. And I now have the opportunity to make an unlock request for this release as well. That looks about it for our new releases feature. Looking forward to get that into customers' hands very soon. All right, let's take a look at BrainKit. So BrainKit is basically a way to generate a couple things that are really helpful for creating the personality for your company. It helps to have a place to store a representation of your brand's underlying tone, identity, personality, style, and other characteristics that make up the actual brand. So BrainKit itself is a new application for us. You'll find it in your kind of left main navigation. It's all project-based. And so when you go into a BrainKit, you'll see a couple capabilities. The first capability is, of course, your voice profiles, which are basically all of the sort of characteristics that might make up a persona or an individual working within a brand. Things like just their name description, various style mixers for things like formality, tone of voice, and humor, as well as custom details for important facets like insights, any sample content that is useful. And actually, the newest feature that we'll show today is the playground. So we actually built a playground now to test changes and to test the sort of characteristics of the voice profiles themselves. You have the ability to toggle on your knowledge vault, which of course is the kind of background information generated from the corpus of data you enter into a vector database, which is going to semantically store, analyze, and summarize all of that information and use it as background context for making the response. And I can just come in here and start asking it questions and start having basically a conversation with the playground itself. So I can just say, describe our company, for example. I've asked it given it no other context or information. And you'll see it's now going to basically, it knows that I'm a member of the Compass Travel Company. That was part of the description. It's also going to talk about, who we are as a brand. It's going to talk about, even me as an individual within the marketing function within this company. And so, even using things like, phrasing that was highlighted within the insights and sample content kind of sections here. So pretty interesting new feature. And of course, you can just continue to talk to the playground, have it regenerate, of course, copy the output here. And it basically is a way for you to really quickly test changes to the BrainKits themselves. The other cool feature I wanted to talk through is basically the ability to actually see all of the content in the Knowledge Vault itself. So as soon as you upload content to the Knowledge Vault, or basically items to the Knowledge Vault, it's going to go ahead and semantically organize and summarize, and then of course analyze and provide that information when you're making your invocation to using the AI assistant. But also you can actually come in here and see all of the items added, and those could be added either manually using the UI here, or programmatically using the API as well, either through a direct action with the API directly, or even through the Automate product itself. So just a couple quick updates on the BrainKit products that we're really excited about, and can't wait for you all to start building with them.
That was pretty amazing. Now let's shift gears to talk about Contentstack Personalize. I mean, who will want to create and personalize content all in one place? I'm really excited about these enhancements, John. How will these updates help create more targeted and effective campaigns for our customers?
Yeah, really excited to talk about Personalize today, our new audience targeting and experimentation system. Really, there are three main legs to this tool. So the first one is audience targeting, the ability to actually create experiences that are targeted at specific audiences made up of attributes, either first-party or third-party. Third-party attributes can come from platforms like a CDP, for example. So if you're using a Segment or a Telium or a High Touch or a RudderStack CDP, you'll be able to basically use that information to influence the targeting parameters for those audiences you're trying to send information to and create experiences for. The second leg is basically experimentation, also known as A/B testing or ABN testing. We also have, in addition to the experimentation suite, some analytics and algorithms to help determine the winner of a particular experiment. The third leg of the platform, as with everything we do here at Contentstack, it's API first. So the ability to not only programmatically influence all these experiments and audiences, but actually work them into things like your CI/CD processing, the ability to control them programmatically from third-party systems, and the ability to actually work with them through even artificial intelligence system as well.
So have we done any work inside of our CMS to support Personalize?
A huge amount. We actually refactored the core platform to support a new primitive called variants. Unlike most composable systems, which tend to use, for personalization context, tend to use kind of a workaround or hack with like a references architecture. For us, we thought that variants actually, or the ability to create a specific, deeper variant of a base entry was really critical to our future vision for personalization. So we actually rewrote most of the CMS to support this concept of variants, which is the ability not only to create a kind of a variable at the field level, but also generate an entirely different piece of content, both across all your locales and inheriting from that base entry as well. Really core update to the CMS, and it works with the entire platform seamlessly.
How cool. Can we see it in action?
Let's do it. All right. Now that we've created our Adventurous Africa landing page, let's go ahead and create a personalized version of the homepage so that when visitors show up and express interest in visiting Africa, we'll be able to double down on that and drive conversions from the homepage directly into that Adventurous Africa landing page. So the first thing we'll do is we'll pop into Personalize. And what you'll see here in Personalize is composed of kind of four main modules. We have our experiences, which consists of segmented experiences and A/B tests. We have our audience list. Audiences are basically a grouping of both first-party and third-party attributes. The third-party attributes, of course, can come from systems like segment.io, CD or CDPs. Notably, in the Africa audience, I've already created one audience, and I'm syncing this with segment directly. Attributes are the custom third-party attributes. Either they could be created here or from, coming from your customer data platform or other source to define visitors for an audience. And events are basically used for A/B testing to register conversions. So let's go ahead and pop into our personalization segment. And under configuration, I'm going to go ahead and create a draft, add a variant, and we'll call this Adventurous Africa. I'm going to go ahead and match Africa group, but I also want to match up our adventure group. Reason being is we want to target individuals who match both of these conditions. Save that, and I'll activate the draft. Awesome. I also want to quickly add the Africa and Adventurous segment into our A/B test. I'm actually just going to go ahead and take over this one, add a placeholder there as well, add those, and save. And within drafts, I'll activate that. So I'm going to go back to Contentstack, go back to our visual builder. We're now able to, from the homepage, step into the shoes of that audience. And so I can go ahead and select Africa. Notably, you'll see I have not fully satisfied the conditions for the personalization segment of Adventures Africa. I've selected the audience of Africa, but I'm still missing the audience of Adventure. So let me go ahead and select that. You'll see now this has been lit up. My page changes slightly. There are outlines across all of the divs showing me bits that are in fact personalized. And I can just come in here and start creating some content for this audience. So let's say Adventures Africa. I want to change this image. Amazing. I want to change this call to action. And I want this to go for the Adventurous Africa landing page. And of course, I'm going to go ahead, and I could type this in manually, but I'm going to go ahead and use our writing assistant to rewrite this for me. And you'll see when I pop this up, we have a few new options, actually. So we added to our writing assistant recently, of course, the ability to use BrandKit, which is essentially a way to include all of the tones and overall personality of your organization, along with the voice profile, basically to indicate which type of persona or an individual person, these responses should reflect. And then our knowledge vault basically to include background information on the brand. Notably as well, there's one additional section here, which is personalization audiences. And so what's really cool about this is that it's actually pulling in the audience definitions from Personalize, both for Africa segment and the Adventure segment. And it's able to basically use those when it's generating its response. And so for this, I'll go ahead and say, perfect. All right. And we're going to go ahead and deploy this. Select our variants, Ventures Africa, and send. Awesome. And we go back to our homepage here. We should see that we have our Africa region, and it should now have associated me with that experience. And when I pop back to our homepage, we'll see Visit Adventurous Africa.
How exciting is it to get these capabilities into our customers' hands? Speaking of new features, customers can now build, edit, and preview their content with our new visual building capabilities. Give us a deeper look, John.
Yeah, visual building is a really exciting update to our ability to basically provide a visually immersive experience within Contentstack itself. So, of course, we've had live preview for years now. Customers have really found it useful to help see the changes that they're making in the kind of form-based experience, kind of side by side. But ultimately, that form-based experience isn't the experience that their users are actually going to see, right? So we really wanted to provide a more immersive experience for editors to actually create experiences and content for their audiences. So Visual Builder is a way for editors to step right into a canvas, which is basically a representation of their site, not just to preview the experience, but actually make edits live inline. What's supported there is all of the content management features. So we brought workflows, we brought role-based access control, we brought commenting and annotations and collaboration. And of course, we brought our AI writing assistant directly into the visual experience canvas. Importantly, for upgrades, to actually make advantage of this, customers don't need to make modifications to their content models at all. All that's required is an SDK upgrade, assuming you have live preview working already.
I love how seamlessly these two products work together. Can you explain to us how personalization and visual building complement each other?
Yeah, so really importantly, this is kind of where it all comes together. So within Visual Builder, users are able to step into the shoes of any of the audiences they're creating content for. And again, not just preview what this experience will look like, but actually edit variants directly in the Visual Builder canvas itself. Of course, incorporating the AI assistant to ensure that the output of the large language model text is aligned with the brand and aligns to the audience you're creating experiences for. But really being able to step cross-dimensionally across the entire application and then through the shoes of all the different audiences for that experience. Now let me walk you through it. A key component of visual building is previewing content, so let me quickly demo Timeline. Our new feature basically to step through time to see how our experience is going to change as we're working ahead into the future, scheduling content and experiences for audiences at different points in the future. And of course, I can step into the shoes of any audience here from my impersonation widget, so I can basically use this to preview any experience for any audience at any point in the future. I can also just use a timeline to basically see what it's going to look like as I step through in time as well. So here, September 26th, it looks like we have an event for Oktoberfest in Munich.
Wow. As you can see, we've been hard at work, but we're not stopping there. We're always pushing the boundaries of what's possible with content experiences. John, let's talk about what's happening. What's next on the horizon?
Yeah, on the horizon for us are updates kind of across the board, across the entire platform. We're looking at really major updates coming to Visual Builder and even further iteration that's going to knock people's socks off. Really cool core CMS features for content editing and operations. And a whole suite of updates across the board from Automate to Personalize to Launch and to our AI assistant as well.
And that's a wrap for our fall product update. Thank you all for joining us today. Hope you're as excited as we are to see these new features. Stay tuned for more updates from Contentstack. We'll see you soon.